Good morning, you're on to Mama with Jarvis, and happy new month, by the way. Today we'll be looking at statistics, a branch of arithmetic called statistics. I will be taking one question from our just concluded midterm examination. It's one question that will try to test every area of what mathematics or statistics we have studied. So I'll try to draw the table on the board. I'll start by trying to draw the table on the board. And then I'll read out the details of the question. This is scores, and this will be frequency. And I will need about 6 spaces here. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we'll be having 2, this will be 5, this will be 13, this will be 11, this is 9, and this is 10. Now, before we start solving, I think it's important for us to explain a few things. Now, for every question in statistics, there are 2 things that are very important. The score, the mark, or the item. This could take a different name, could be score, could be mark, could be item. And then we have the frequency. How many of a particular score do I have? For instance, for 1, the frequency is 2. How frequently am I seeing 1? It's 2 times. For 2, it is 5. For 3, it is 13. For 4, it is 11. For 5, it is 9. And for 6, it is what? 10. Alright, so the question says that the table shows the distribution of the outcome when a die is thrown what? 50 times. And then for a die thrown 50 times, for a die has 6 faces. Each scored 1, another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as the case may be. Now, what are we told to look for? We're told to look for the mean, the mode, the median, the range, the mean deviation, the variance, and the standard deviation. And this is a very easy question. So what I'll do is to try to rule out. I'll start by talking about my score, or scores, which I will call X. And then I'll talk about my frequency, which I'm going to abbreviate as frequency, which I will call F. Now these are standard terms used in statistics. And then I'm going to have the next column, which I'm going to call Fx, meaning by multiplying the score and the frequency. It is this column that's going to help me look for my mode. Sorry, my mean. This column and this column will help me look for my mean. Right? So, something else I'm going to tell you here. When you're given a question like this, we're told to look for mean, mode, median, range. Now for for mode, median, and range, you can actually look at this to get those answers. You just need to look at this and you get the answers. It's not something you really need to do much work for. Right? So, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The frequency is what? 2. The frequency here is 5. The frequency here is 13. The frequency here is 11. The frequency here is 9. And the frequency here is 10. So Fx means multiply these 2. 1 times 2 will give me 2. 2 times 5 will give me 10. 3 times 13, you can actually punch your calculator here, will give me 39. 4 times 11 will give me 44. 5 times 9 will give me what? 45. And then 6 times 10 will give me what? 60. Now, I'm going to add all of this, and you're going to see something like sigma fx. What is sigma fx equal to? Add all of this, and if you've done that addition correctly with your calculator, you should be getting what? 100 here. Am I right? Or 200. And you add all of this, and you're going to have in what? 50. So, at this point, I'm going to rule this part of my board. I don't know how much of this part I'm going to need, so I'll just rule this part. Just to imagine that what I'm doing will not exceed this point. Now, what is the mean? The mean is expressed as what? Summation fx over summation f. What is summation fx? It's 200. What is summation f? 50. You may want to use your calculator. One of the best ways to handle problems like this, as your teachers are solving, you are attempting it. Make an effort. Don't relax and wait till everything is done. Make an effort, make an effort, make an effort. You will make mistakes, it's normal. But make an effort and try to ensure that you are engaged in what is being done. Alright, so that settles that. And if you do that correctly, you're going to have 4. So the mean is what? 4. We're going to designate this letter there, meaning that it is what? Mean. So I'm going to create another column. I'm going to call that x minus the mean. So the big question is, what column am I using to handle this? This is the column I'm going to use to handle this. This is a column. This is a column I'm going to use to handle this. So 1 minus the mean 4 will give me negative 3. 2 minus the mean will give me negative 4 because the mean is greater than this number. 3 minus the mean will give me negative 3. 4 minus the mean will give me 0. 5 minus the mean will give me 1. And 6 minus the mean will give me what? 2. Is that okay? Now, if I add all of this, I'm going to get a negative value. But this column will not help me out to look for the problem I want to solve. I need to create another column which I'm going to call D equal to what? The absolute value of what? So I'm going to be working with the absolute value of that. And this will give me 3. This will give me 4. This will give me what? 3 again. Okay, this should be 1. I was wondering, this ought to be 1. This ought to be 2. Fine. Because I was wondering where this is. Now, as a check for you, the values should be decreasing. To get 0 here, the values have to decrease. So that's one way to check if you're actually doing the right thing. So this will be negative 1. And that's the order I ought to have. So I'll just do that correction quickly. This will be 2. Let's reduce this because I'm going to need a lot of space this way. So I'll just say D equal to x minus the mean. Alright, so I'm going to rule that. So this will be what? 3, this will be 2, this will be 1, this will be 0, this will be 1, and this will be 2. The next thing I want to do is to find what? FD. Now, how do you do FD? FD means that I'm going to be working with this code, this, and what? This. So this and this. So I'll put my left hand here. Because when you're solving, always ensure you work with, use techniques that will help you not to make a mistake. I'm going to put my left hand and finger here, and I'm going to check. 2 times 3, 6. 5 times 2, 10. 13 times 1, 13. 11 times 0, 0. 9 times 1, 9. And 10 times 2, what? 20. Is that okay? Is that okay? So the next thing I'll do is to add all of this. This will give me 16. 16 plus 13. You can actually do that as a rough work at the side of your note. 16 plus 13, that will give me 29. 29 plus 29 will give me 58. You can actually do this with your calculator. It's allowed. And this will mean that the summation FD will be equal to what? 58. Is that okay? So, this is Roman figure A. Now, I'll keep that, and then I'll pause and come to this B. The next question says I should look for my words. The mode. Now, the mode is the score with the highest frequency. You may want to write that down. The mode is the score or the item with the highest frequency. The mode is not a frequency. Because I see students making that mistake. They say, what is the mode? Students will now come to write 13. No, the mode is not a frequency. The mode is a score. Everything you're looking for is a score. So I'll look at, but what guides me to do that is my frequency. I'm seeing 2 here, I'm seeing 5, oh, I'm seeing 13 here. Is anything higher than 13? Of course no. So why I've seen 13, I look up. What score is 13? 3. So that's why my mode becomes what? 3. The next one we do will be the median. If I'm right with that. The next one will be the median. How do you get the median? There are different ways you can get the median. We have been told that the number of scores here, they are what? 50. Is that not? The number of scores you have here, they are what? 50. So how do you obtain the median? There's something we call the position of the median. So if you want to write this down, the median is a position. Write that down. Because if you have this understanding very well, you wouldn't be under any kind of stress when solving problems in statistics. The median is a position. The median is a position. So maybe I'll just put that there. The median is a position. For instance, the first position in class will go to who? Let's say to who, a student, for instance. That median will occur at a particular position. That's why I said that the median is a position. So you need to remember that for all it takes, the position, the median will have a position. So we need to look for that position. And the trick here is to say the position of the median is equal to, what is the frequency? N. You can use N, or since we are using F, I'll call it F since I'm using F. F plus 1 over 2. F means, or let's say summation F. Sorry, summation F. The total frequency plus what? 1. So that will be 50 plus 1 over 2. And if you do that correctly, you're going to get 25.5. So the median will occur at the 25.5th position. So we come here, we check 2 plus 5, 7. Somebody's out. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 13 is what? 20. Is that not? Now 20 plus, this is where I stopped. If I move 5 steps into this score, I will still be in that score. Is that not? There are 11 fours here. Is that not? 11 fours here, which means that even when I enter this score, I will still be on 4. So, irrespective of what it is, the median will still be what? 4. In your grade 7, you were taught something we call ranking. Ranking. What is ranking? This is just a table way of showing ranking. If I'm going to spread this out, let's say I'm taking a grade 7 student, or let's say I'm taking somebody in the primary school. If I spread this, is like saying 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I saw some students use this method. That's fine. If that's the way you understand it. Then this one will be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we said the 25.5th position. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now 25.5 means that there are 2 numbers sharing that position. So if you look at it, 4 plus 4 divided by 2 will still give me 4. So whichever method you use is the same answer. One of the reasons why you were taught this in your primary, late primary school, or early secondary school is that in case you're not sure of what to do, you can resort to this method and nobody will penalize you for it. Right, so we're taking care of that. We now come to D, and the matter of what? Range. What is range? In range, we need to know the score that is highest, and we need to know the score that is what? Lowest. The difference between range focuses on scores and not on frequency. Because while marking, I discovered that some students were telling me that the range was 13 minus 2. No. Range does not focus on frequency. Range focuses on what? Score. Range will usually focus on what? Score. So, what score is the lowest? And you don't need frequency to do range. What score was the lowest? 1. What score was the highest? 6. So that will be what? 6 minus 1. That will just be what? 5. Is that okay? Yes. Now the next one says what? Mean deviation. Mean deviation. A quick reminder here that what we are dealing with now is what is called discrete data. That is single data. We can actually apply this knowledge to what? Grouped data. Right? So, to get the mean deviation says it is summation FD over summation F. So what is summation FD? From my calculation, you discover that it is what? 58. And what is my summation F? It is what? 50. And if you do that correctly, you're going to get 1.16 as your final answer. 1.16 as your final answer. Okay? Now, we go to variance. Let's stay right there, the variance. To get the variance, I need to create another column. To get the variance, I need to create another column. I need to create what is called d squared. So, to get this squared, what column helps me out? It is this one. This is the column that will enable me to get this squared. So, I square whatever value I'm seeing here. 3 squared will be 9. 2 squared will be what? 4. Are we together? 1 squared will be 1. 0 squared will be 0. And 1 squared will be 1 again. And 2 squared will be what? 4. Let's be together. Let's focus. So, summation. Okay, we don't need this. We don't actually need this one. Now, we will now need to get what is called FD squared. Now, what do I need to do FD squared? I will look at, can we be together please? I will look at this F. Notice that anytime I come to this, I'm always keeping my left hand here. Now, the problem here is that a lot of us might forget what we are multiplying. So, the trick is this. Keep one hand, one of your fingers here. And then use your pen to begin to touch this one. So this is 2 times what? 9. And it's what? 5 times what? That's what I'm doing. Don't say you want to be using your eye to do it. Because this is where you may forget that you are using this and your eye will come here. I start having problem. So you just put your hand, finger here. This is 13 times 1, 13. 11 times 0, 0, 9 times 1, 9, and 10 times 4 is what? 40. So we'll now get what's called summation FD squared. Summation what? FD squared, right? So let's add that. What do you get? 36 plus 13 will give you what? 38 rather plus 13 will give you 51. And 51 plus 49 will give you what? 51 plus 49 will give you what? 100. So what is the variance? The variance is expressed as summation FD squared over summation F. And if you do that correctly, that will be saying 100 divided by 50. And that will be what? 2. So we have gotten the variance. Now, having obtained the variance, the next important thing we want to look at is what is called the standard deviation, which is the last question there. Standard deviation. So how do you obtain the standard deviation? Mathematically, The standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So if you have obtained the variance, we can obtain the standard deviation. And that will be the square root of 2. And what's the square root of 2? That is 1.414. I said in one of my videos, I think that was last night when I was treating the midnight sun experience, that there are certain values you must know by heart, offhand or by heart. Square root of 2, you should know it. Square root of 3, you should know it. Square root of 5, you should know it. At least these three, you ought to know their values. This is 1.414, this is 1.732, and this is 2.236. You should know them. You should know them. So you may want to take out the time to memorize this. It's important you know them. So that takes care of this problem of statistics. And you can see that with one problem, we have been able to take care of all the key areas you ever see handling district data in statistics. We take care of mean, the mode, the median, the range, the mean deviation, the variance, and then the standard deviation. So I think this video is comprehensive enough to help you handle problems like this.